I was shocked to learn that Daddy Diesel dropped a new video going after the beloved musical phenom that is the vegan teacher.
Eat your vegetables!
Now I don't see what all the fuss is about. Vegan Senpai was just trying to put Trisha back on the banana boat.
Can we stop eating animals, world?
As appalled as I was by this affront on veganism's Wicked Witch of the West, my attention was drawn to Diesel's claim that the world adopting a plant-based diet cause a bloody ecological collapse. Before I jump into that pit though, I have to say Daddy Diesel's perspective on factory farming was refreshing. Most people throw factory farming under the bus immediately and don't provide any alternative or discuss the difficulty in actually avoiding consuming any factory farmed animals while still eating animal products. If animal agriculture continues without factory farming, it would relegate meat consumption to the wealthy by increasing production costs whilst reducing supply. But I digress. The two articles Diesel references to support his claim that an entirely vegan food supply would collapse the global ecosystem are both lacking in substantive content. Neither of these articles are scientific papers. The first article admits that animal agriculture uses the majority of the Earth's farmland, produces just over 50% of all agricultural greenhouse gas emissions, and only provides 37% of global protein intake and 18% of global caloric intake. Somehow after this, they don't think animal agriculture is the problem, and they drop the classic, "But what about deforestation caused by the soybeans?" argument. It's funny they mention that, since 75% of the world's soybeans are produced to feed livestock animals. That's part of the reason animal agriculture is so destructive, because of the immense amount of resources it takes to produce livestock and the diminished returns this process provides. They also raise the big brain idea of crop deaths. You know, how Bambi and her mum are remarkably skittish animals that hunters need to approach incredibly quietly, but that these are somehow routinely minced up by bloody combine harvesters. When you look at land usage rates and other factors such as the killing of native predators and herbivores, you actually see that animal products cause the death of far more animals than comparable plant products. The crux of the argument here is an advocacy of Mr. Alan Elephant Genocide Savory's idea of holistic management. This theory suggests that through livestock grazing, soil health can be maintained and even restored, which will allow grassland ecosystems to sequester carbon. The problem is that the science shows they can't sequester more carbon than the greenhouse gases emitted by the livestock grazing on them. Savory's theory has come under scrutiny from the broader scientific community recently, which has led to him discounting the whole scientific process as a whole. Now that's someone I want to base my environmental policy off of. Without the need to feed billions of livestock, we can improve the methods which we use to produce crops to protect the health of soils, while also rewilding land freed up from animal agriculture to preserve biodiversity and sequester carbon emissions. The second article Diesel provides is a blog post that has a lot of overlap with the first article. It champions the idea that we should raise grass-fed cattle, but this requires more land, produces more greenhouse gases, and consumes more water than grain-fed cattle production. Grass-fed production is by no means a cure for the ills of raising ruminant animals for human consumption. Finally, it also suggests if we are to replace animal foods with plant sources, we wouldn't be able to meet the nutritional needs of the human population. This too is a falsehood, as highlighted by a 2018 study which showed the USA could feed an additional 350 million people and improve public health if animal-based foods were replaced with plant-based alternatives. So no mate, if everyone was on a plant-based diet, it wouldn't crumble the environment. In fact, the environment is currently crumbling, and animal agriculture playing a disproportionately large role due to its land clearance, land degradation, pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. Hopefully next time Diesel exposes some more vegan dumpster fires, and there are many of those.
Hitler was pretty nice to the Jews after what the Jews did to Hitler.
He can do it without spreading misinformation about veganism as a whole. Struth.